To load Plot3D files, we can use the Plot3D loader of ZONA-MV. So for example, in this case, we'll load a Gulfstream half model that's saved in Plot3D format. And this happens to be the Plot3D data file here. And we can see that there's 44 blocks defined, and then the Plot3D data for the coordinates of each of the block mesh. So we can go to the import menu option, select Plot3D file. From the file that we saw, it's a formatted file. We have three options: formatted, unformatted, or binary. The precision of the file, whether it's in single or double format, and in the case of the file that we just looked at, the data was saved in double, and whether we need to read I-blanks at the end of the Plot3D file or not. In this case, the geometry file did not have I-blank data, so we will turn that off. Then we go select the Plot3D data file, which was called p20.p3d, and we also have an option to load a solution file if we have that available, and you can select that here. So we say OK, and then we see the Plot3D loader will load each block of mesh and tell you how many elements are inside each of those blocks, as well as the IJK values of each of the blocks. So each block is represented in a separate zone here. We can use the zone settings to see each of the blocks and their associated colors. If we want to isolate a given block, we can easily, for example, if we want to turn blocks on and off, for example, block 21 happens to be this engine block here, and if we double click on it, then we can turn off that zone, or in essence that block, in the model view. So some other options that we have here for the Plot3D is if you go to the Tools tab, we have a Plot3D dialog that can come up and allow you to specify IJK values within blocks that you wish to view. So if you click on that here, we see that all of the blocks are displayed with all of their IJK ranges. If we wanted to view an individual block, we can do that here by first selecting clear. So everything that is in this list or this edit box here is displayed, and you can actually manually change these. This is the I start, I end for block 1, the J start, J end, K start, K end. And here we're showing the minimum and maximum, so you can find that out for each block by selecting the block. But if we wanted to view, for example, the engine block again, block 21, we can clear the view. Then we can drop down to block 21 and click Add, and it will show the entire block 21 IJK range, and we click Apply. Then in the model view, we see that we are only looking at block 21. If we want to down select a range, for example, let's say we, so I'm going to clear this, let's say we only want to see, or even through 20. So let's say we want to see J values from 1 to 20, but we'll look at all I values and K min to K max of 1. We can add that here, and it'll populate it for us, and click Apply. And then if we look in the model view, then we see those IJK values for this particular block only. And if we want to reset it, then we just clear it all, click Reset, Apply, and we can regain the whole model. So in this fashion, you can view Plot3D formatted files. Load Plot3D solution files as well, and so again we use the Plot3D data file loader. For this case, it's a formatted file, double precision, and it has I-blanks, and this is a wedge case, a simple wedge case. So we load the wedge grid here for the geometry file and the solution file. We pick one of the solution files. We can pick this Mach 15 angle of attack 40, and then we say OK, and the program will tell us here that it loaded one block with IJK values here, and then the Mach number from the solution file is Mach 15, the angle of attack is 40, and it gives the Reynolds number and time values. Then if we want to see the results from the solution file onto the Plot3D grid, we click on Contour, and it will display. Right now we have the density because that was the first value read in. If we want to get a better view, we can turn off the elements so we can see the flow field solution on the wedge. And if we double click here on the contour legend, we can change the number of levels, for example, to 31, and then select, for example, pressure coefficient, preview changes, and then here, so now we're seeing the pressure coefficient on this wedge at 40 degrees Mach 15. So in this fashion, we can view the solution results on a Plot3D grid.